there. So happy to have you on with us today. Where in the world are you?
I'm in Florida.
Okay, wonderful. Well, good. We are so excited to talk to you about this new book, and you got to be excited too. It's you know, as someone who's gone through this process, it's a lot putting out a book, and of course, it's sort of like a giving birth to a new child each time, right? And you got to be proud.
It is. It is. Each time's exciting. I do let you know I need to be done at 1:14. I have another interview at 1:15.
No problem at all. That
All right.
sounds good.
All right.
Well, first of all, congratulations. This book, of course, it's very exciting. I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this one. Yeah, and you hear from a lot of people, a lot of fans these days, right?
Well, I mean, it's been 19 Cotton Malone, so it's been around
That's
for a while.
right.
So the books are out there, and my 27th novel. So it's always nice to have a new book out there and something new. As you said, it's like a new child coming into the world for me. So it's out there now in stores everywhere. The Medici return, and Cotton Malone is back.
Yeah, and what is it about Cotton Malone that keeps not only you coming back, but keeps the readers coming back because it's infinitely interesting.
Well, he's an ordinary guy. He's not a Daniel Craig. He doesn't run 20 miles a day. He doesn't work out. He's not, not a superhero. He's an ordinary fella, who can rise up and do extraordinary things when called upon. And I think that's why people have related to him. And he's now, as I said, had 19 adventures. That should not put the readers off, though. You do not have to read the other 18 books. You can read in any order you want. You can pick them up in any order you want. I write them that way on purpose. So hopefully people can start. If you haven't tried it, start with this one.
Good. Well, and for those at home, what are they getting into this time around?
Well, we're headed to Tuscany, and we're
Yes.
dealing with the famed Medici family that supposedly uh, kind of went extinct in 1743 when there were no more heirs of the family. But I kind of created another heir, and I also created this document called the Pledge of Christ, which Pope Julius II would executed, a pledge to pay some money back that the Medici loaned the church. And now Cotton Malone is getting caught up in a search for both the pledge and the last Medici, and the who's going to be the next prime minister of Italy and who's going to be the next pope kind of hangs in the balance. So it's my usual action, history, secrets,
Yeah,
conspiracies with a lot of fun. It's just a nice fun read and a lot of good entertainment.
I love it. And when did you first realize that you had the gift? Because you certainly have it.
Well, you don't really realize it's hard because my journey from the day I wrote my first word to the day I sold my first word was 12 years. And I had 85 rejections over 5 different manuscripts during that time. So I had a very long process to get published. I got published in '03. I didn't really consider myself a writer till about '05 or '06, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood. One day I looked at myself and said, wow, I think I actually am a writer now. I took it step by step, slow. It was a very slow, laborious process for me.
Well, I believe you said that the nuns were part of that reason that kind of kept you on that discipline track, right?
They did. They taught me to stick with something. They would not let you quit. You're not allowed to quit, and they taught me how to stick with it. And so I hung with it for 12 years until one day I caught a break.
Hmm. Well, you're like this in relation. My co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys, and he caught the Hail Mary and went in the Hall of Fame. And different kind of Hail Mary than you grew up with, but sort of. So we'd love to ask people their Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you? Was that the final avoiding the final rejection letter, maybe?
I think the Hail Mary moment was when I actually started writing, in 1990, when I finally said, I'm going to sit down today and I'm going to write a book. I had thought about it for 10 years and I put it off and put it off. And that little voice in my head was telling me to do it, and I was ignoring that voice. So that's probably my Hail Mary. Yeah, because there's no guarantee anything's going to come out of that. 90% of all writers who start something don't finish it. I know that from teaching writers around the country. So it was probably my moment in the summer of '90 when I said I'm going to write a book, and I did. I sat down, I wrote a book. It was about this tall, about 170,000 words, and pretty terrible, but it's the greatest thing I'll ever write in my life because I started it and I finished it. I actually did do that. And then from there on, it just kept going and forward.
Well, and so what kind of advice do you give to those writers that are looking up to you? Because there's so many of them.
Simple, very easy piece of advice. Keep writing. You have to write. You have to write every day. You have to write and write and write. There's only one way to learn how to write, and that's to actually do it. You can't talk about it. You can't think about it. You literally have to sit down and do it. And so that's what I tell them. You've got to keep writing.
Well, and part of that, and we talk about that on the show, is the success mindset that you have to have, whether or not you're feeling it or not. And sometimes the words just don't come to you. So, is there something that you tell yourself, or something that keeps you on that right path always?
Well, it happens every day. You get stuck every day. Every day, getting stuck is a normal course. For me, the easiest way to get over it is quit. Just stop that and go do something else. And go do something that doesn't involve thinking about what you're doing. And 99.9999% of the time, it always works. It always works. Occasionally, it takes a little more, takes maybe a day because what you're stuck is a little more complex. But most of the times, you just go and clean your head out, you just sit down, then you get back in there and you keep going again.
Yeah. And now I bet you're already thinking about the next book, right?
I'm almost finished it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah. I stay a year ahead of. I stay 3 years ahead, but I stay 1 year ahead in writing of a. So I'll turn that book in here shortly, and then I'm already researching and outlining the next book, and then I'm conceptualizing the book after that. So there's three in my head at all times.
Wow. And then of course, we got to see these on the big screen or small screen at some point, right?
Be great, wouldn't it? There's a lot of talk, but they knock on the door, but they stay out on the porch. They haven't come inside yet. So maybe they'll come inside and we'll get it done.
That's so great. Well, is there any hints you can give us about the next book?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. It takes place in Sweden. It deals with the largest book in the world. It's called the Devil's Bible, and that's what the book's called, the Devil's Bible. And so Cotton gets caught up with that, the largest book in the world. It comes from the from 14th, 15th century Bohemia. It's been in the Swedish National Library now for about 400 years,
Mhm.
and Cotton gets caught up in some intrigue dealing with that.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're looking forward to that one. Last thing, as far as this book goes, of course, this is for entertainment. But there's always, I believe, something being said, or some sort of commentary in there. What is it that you hope and the people will kind of take away and discuss? Because it's almost impossible not to read these and not talk about them with somebody.
Well, I want them to, for number one, I want to be entertained. I want them to have
Yeah.
fun. I mean, because that's the number one job. My job is to entertain you. If you leave the book wanting to learn more about the Medici and wanting to learn more about Florence and Siena and the Great Palio horse race, well, then great. You might even leave the book saying, I want to go see that for myself. I hope that would be great too.
Yeah, no, they need to give you a tourism board check for this one.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or a free trip, even better.
Yeah, exactly. So something, right? Well, Kip, please keep up the good work. We need more great books always. I appreciate your time, the wonderful answers, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
having
you so much. Okay, bye bye.
me.